Good morning YouTube. This week I'm going to make a bedroom unit and I'm going to build it in on situ and site. But first I've got to rip out the old bedroom stuff that was there, which was pretty enough, and I've got to build a really nice form follows function cupboards, and it's got sloped ceilings, and on 3 walls it's sloped ceilings. So I've done a rough measurement and I've did some drawings. I'll show you here. Now for me to do a really good survey I have to get everything out of the road, and some of it will be made in the workshop here. And by the way, it's absolutely freezing in Scotland. It is Baltic, and I know people that's way down the south of Britain on the English Channel. To me, that's like the Mediterranean. The temperature there is like double, treble what it is here. It's like 3 degrees here in Scotland, and yet they put their heating on in the middle of December because they say it's cold. Cold, man. Ask yourself this: have you ever carried in so much sheets of material and you've stored it in the rack, only to find that you're going to be taking it out the rack and cutting them all into little pieces? In some jobs, I'll maybe go through 7 sheets of oak veneer MDF. Now it's quite heavy, so when I take it in initially, I'll pile them all on the bench, all high, and then when it comes to cutting them, I just put in a wee stick. I cut all the bits and I work my way down the pile, and that saves me having to put them in the rack and take them out and shuffle them about and everything. That's a wee tip. Like I said in the workshop, I'm going to do this job on site. This is a wardrobe which I'm going to build in here by using it in sections. This is quite unusual for me because normally I build the carcass in the workshop and I take it to the site and fit it. But here being all these weird shapes, and I thought I would do it on site. Previously, what was here before was a very old-fashioned wardrobe, and it didn't look very nice, but it had been here for a few years, and apparently the guys that had fitted it had actually ripped off the plasterboard in at the sides there just to get it in, which that's not good because it must have been in a howling draft coming through this roof, so I'm going to have to do something to repair that. So I'm going to clad the whole lot in this here with oak veneer before I build the front, and I build the front in situ. It's a nice form follows function wardrobe that goes well. I'm going to crack on with this job. You're not going to see me doing all these Scottish Highland fling dancing or reciting Robbie Burns poems, but we'll see how we get on with this job. Alright, I'll just set the camera up and we'll do a wee time lapse. this ready to go to the workshop and start knocking up the stuff. I've already fitted this one. I thought I'd get this in before I put this wall up. It makes it easier. So that's that, it's all sheeted inside, and I've got wires fitted ready for a light switch here, and there'll be 2 lights either side at each door. And this side, as it is in the drawing, there's got to be a nice chest of drawers here. It's got enough opening space so that it doesn't hit here. Then there's going to be a wee shoe rack, and there's going to be a rail which is going to pull down because the lassie is quite wee, the woman's quite little. And then there's going to be shelves wall to wall here. So the clothes will come to here, see, but you've still got access to these shelves, and it's the same at the other side. Apart from, there's a double hanging rail, so there's got to be another shelf here, it goes all the way. There's got to be a rail there, and I'm making a wee cubicle here so that you can have long dresses and stuff like that. Okay? So we'll get back to the workshop, we'll start putting these things together. It's late, it's about 5:30, and I'm hungry. I need to get home, have some supper. I'd like to have a wee look outside my door. You hear that helicopter going over? Used to get helicopters going over every 10 minutes. It was like a dual carriageway up here when the oil rigs were like in full swing. But now it doesn't seem to be so much. Aberdeen is such a different city now that there's less people working in the oil industry. It's changing. At one time in our city we had the fishing industry, and almost everybody worked in the fish. And I, for the first 9 months after leaving school, worked in the fish. And I was a bit of size. And I was a finner. And going home in a bus, you could not get a seat because it was jam-packed with everybody that worked in the fish. Different smell now on the buses than what it was back then. Anyway, I'm waffling and I'm walking in circles in my workshop, so I think we'll go on a job and we'll start.
You don't know.
The customer has very kindly letted me back to this job after the decorators have finished. They put new wallpaper on. Thank goodness, because that was crazy flowery paper. So we'll just have a wee look. She's got it filled. She says okay to have a lookie. I'll switch the light on. And she is absolutely delighted. And here's the shoe rack. That's the chest of drawers I made in the workshop. These are the type I do inside so that you can pull rather than I'll not open them. So that's that. Delighted. It's another good job and a happy customer.